The holiday season is officially here, and for many Canadians, that means financial stress. More than half say they'll be relying on credit cards to cover festive costs, according to a recent survey by CPA Canada. Turning to credit may be a common solution. It's certainly not without its risks, though. Here to help unwrap your options is Peter Sashecki from Everything Financial. Good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning.
Do you find that a lot of people that you work with have let that debt mount and mount and mount?
It has in the last year or two. And they're trying to figure out now ways to deal with that debt. And luckily, with interest rates on their way down, they are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. It's no longer a train coming at them. But now it's like, okay, what do we do to get to that next level? How do we actually manage this debt and actually make a dent in it?
Yeah, just news this morning that consumer debt in Canada has hit a record high of $2.5 trillion in the third quarter. It's unbelievable. Is credit card the biggest one right now for people?
Credit card's the biggest one, and it's the fees on the credit card too. I mean, people think, well, I'll manage the debt and I'll pay my minimum on my credit card. You pay the minimum on your credit card, you're actually not making a dent in it. It's still going up because the minimum credit card payment isn't like it's even all the interest on a monthly basis. I mean, how can it be at 20-something percent?
Yeah, it's astounding. So what is the best way for people to deal with that debt over the holidays, especially during the holidays, because we have things to buy for people?
Yeah, one of the ways to look at it as a possible solution is look at an unsecured line of credit. Say you don't own a house, so you can't really get a secured line of credit, which we've talked about, the home equity line of credit, but an unsecured line of credit, which might be prime plus 4%, sounds not great, but prime plus 4% is under 10, and that's better than 22 to 24 on a credit card. That's one solution you could do to pay off that credit card.
So you take from the unsecured line of credit, pay off that credit card, and pay that
and
down.
Pay that, because then you'll at least be making a dent. But you have to be disciplined. You have to be focused on paying down that credit card. That's one solution that can definitely help get you at least in a positive direction, making a dent in that debt.
Okay, so some credit card companies offer introductory no interest periods. What should people be considering before they get into that?
Well, you've got to look at that, and you've got to look, Carrie, at the amortization. So some of those 0% or 1% credit cards are great, and they're used for transferring debt from another credit card. That's why they give you the promotional rate.
They want your money.
They want your money, but buyer beware. Because when that 6-month to 12-month period ends, and sometimes they're even a little longer, I've seen them as much as 15 months. They do vary. But when that period ends, that rate and interest is based on the beginning. Like it's sky high. But if you could get a credit card and manage that, the monthly payments you budget for can pay that off to basically zero by the end
of that trial period?
Of that trial period. And I've seen people do it. Then you're way ahead. So you got to do some accounting. You got to do some number crunching. Talk to a registered financial planner, budget it in. But that may be just, again, what we talked about, that may be that one thing that leapfrogs you to the positive side of debt repayment.
Okay, yeah, something to consider for sure. I didn't even think about that. Good advice there. And what advice would you give to people who are already dealing with a lot of debt over the holidays? Like should they move forward from here?
Look at things that you need, not want. You don't have to go. And there's nothing wrong with saying a little bit of no, or putting a little bit of self-restraint on the purchases.
Saying no
Christmas
to yourself, like those fancy coffees once a week.
Yeah, you've got to just look at, I mean, we talk to people all the time. The word I hate is budget. There's no such thing as budget, but look at cash flow. What do I bring in? What am I putting out in expenses? And maybe you just have to look at a little self-reflection and go, you know what? I don't need that. I don't need that. And it's time to be a little more responsible. Maybe be a grown-up and actually take some of those matters into your own hand. You don't need a new iPhone every year.
Right. Yeah.
For $1,500 or whatever they cost.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that people could cut out of their budget, but it's getting more difficult just for people to make ends meet, just based on the cost of living right now.
But we do see things getting better. You know what I do at Christmas time? I say to people, if you want to do something really good at Christmas time and you have debt, help someone else out. Pay it forward to someone else. Don't worry about yourself.
Yeah, give your services to help.
Like this tomorrow and the next day.
Yeah, Thursday,
Toy
Friday.
Mountain.
You're done at Toy Mountain this year.
Drop off some toys. Yep. Do something for someone else. You'll feel really good about it. It'll really help.
Yep, I know you're going to be down there along with Mark for the next couple of days. So
we'll be down there. Our whole team will be down there Friday morning. doing our elf thing and trucks full of toys, and we love it every year. We look forward to it.
You always do such great work for the community.
It's fun.
Peter Suchecki, Everything Financial, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks, Gary.
Thanks for coming in.